Well, Coach, you enter this year, first year as head coach. What has been the biggest difference so far you've noticed in the preseason? Any difference at all?
Not, to be honest, everyone asks me that question. There hasn't been a whole lot just because so many things the same. I think planning practices has been a little bit, maybe one of the biggest adjustments I've had to make is making sure I plan a good practice. But again, we're doing so many similar things to what we've done in the past that it really, I keep telling this to everyone, it's been a seamless transition, and until I have to start substituting and call timeouts, I'm doing a pretty good job, I think.
You guys win the regular season, but fall in the conference tournament. How much was that an emphasis this past off-season and preseason about getting back to that tournament and just closing out both the regular season and conference tournament?
Well, for sure. I think our team now is made up of juniors and seniors. So it's, to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot of, the way the season ended was a huge motivator for our guys as older guys who kind of realize they have 1 and 2 years left. They don't want to go through what we went through the last week of the season. And not to take anything away from the season that we did have, which was a miraculous and awesome season, but there was some unfinished business, and I think that's been a huge motivating factor for us, and kind of something we've definitely talked about as a motivation for us is to work hard and to get better and give it another go.
Yeah, the year before, UAB captured the national spotlight as, America's team.
Yeah.
The next year,
Middle.
Middle. What does this say about this league that, you're able to have teams like UAB, like Middle, put Conference USA on the big stage? What it could be anybody this year.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's a testament to how good our league is, and potentially a testament to how underappreciated maybe nationally the top of our league is and some of the better teams in our league are. We finished 4th the year that we go on to the NCAA tournament, and we beat Iowa State. Middle finishes 2nd this year and goes on to beat Michigan State. So I think it's a great representation for our conference, but if our 2nd and 4th place team can do that in the last 2 years, it would be awesome to have more teams given that opportunity to see what they can do, because ourselves and Middle have obviously proved that they can beat those teams in March.
What is it about Middle? What do they do best as far as, they went on a late run in the conference. They really struggled in non-conference, but they went on a late run in the conference. What do they do best?
I think, to be honest, they're extremely well coached. One of the best coached teams, I would say, in the country. I've been in Conference USA now, or I've been at UAB. This is my 5th year, and I was an assistant before, but I was in the ACC for 7 years, and I got to see some of the best coaches in the country. Coach Davis, in my opinion, does as good a job, if not better, than anyone in the country. They're very tough. They play a style of basketball that reflects the way he coaches, and I think when you get a team that can play that together and that tough and are well coached, anything can happen. That's why they've been super successful, in my opinion.
What is it? Is it the system? Is it their outside shooting? Last year, led the nation.
Yeah, I think last year they had a couple veteran guys, Buford and Upshaw especially, and obviously Potts and Harris, but 2 seniors, a junior that had been through a lot, had won a lot of games, and I think they were very streaky, having their big guys be able to shoot threes. That kind of, like you mentioned, was huge. Obviously in the NCAA tournament, and Raymond got going there, and when they were hitting outside shots on all cylinders, they were tough to beat, as Michigan State found out in the NCAA tournament.
Coach, if you can, you all are hosting the tournament for a couple of years now and consecutive. What's it been like? As you mentioned earlier, an assistant, but you got called and all and to make the move over to chair number 1. What's been the transition? How's it been?
No, it's been good. One of my biggest challenges is I have to find a way to get our team to be better than last year, and it's easier said than done. We won 26 games, which was the most in UAB history. So I've kind of told our team as they've got older, our goal was not the wins and losses, but it's to play consistently at a higher level. And we won a ton of games last year, but we weren't as consistent. A lot of close games against teams we probably should have beat, and we have to maintain a high level of consistency. And if we do that, I really feel like the wins and losses will take care of itself, and our team can be as good as they want to be honest.
Staff is another thing. You seems like you put a good staff together, you know, to complement what you do, do as a head. Let's talk about those guys that came in and
Yep. Well, I kept Coach Battle, who was with us for the past 2 years. Well, that was a huge piece just to keep the continuity and stability of what we had been doing. So he's the associate coach. I hired Danton Jackson, was the head coach at Xavier University, New Orleans for 13 plus years. Tremendous defensive coach, has a head coaching experience, which I felt like our staff needed. And I hired Kevin Devitt, who used to be our director of ops, a guy that was with us for the first 3 years when we built this UAB program up and was familiar with myself, how our program operates, and familiar with the players. So you're right, I got a little bit, I think, of everything that I needed, and I'm excited to, for the season to start.
Like Bud is recruiting. It's all about recruiting.
Yeah.
Guys you brought in that's looking to make crack that first state, as they say.
For sure, I think recruiting is probably what we've done best since I've been there at UAB, and we signed 2 guys last year in November, not a transfer sitting out, and all 3 of those guys are on board and with us this year through the transition of me becoming the head coach. But Javian Williams from Birmingham and Nate Darling from Canada, who went to DeMatha, both of those guys are guards I think could help us this year. And Nate is a big-time shooter. Javian is a big-time athlete, so they complement each other well. And then Dion Lavender, who scored 8-9 points a game as a freshman in the Missouri Valley for Southern Illinois as a transfer. He'll be an integral piece as we kind of collectively have to replace Robert Brown, who was a senior for us.
Also, your schedule, non-conference is always set up to give you a lot of different styles to prepare everybody pretty much for a conference play. Yeah. Just what your non-conference looks like.
Well, I think it's the toughest non-conference since we've been there, and it was by design. We'll play Kansas in Kansas City, then Georgia, George Washington, and on the following night we'll play Auburn at home, Memphis at Stephen F. Austin, at Texas. So we're St. Mary's in Las Vegas. So we're going to be challenged very early in our schedule. But it's with juniors and seniors, this is what they want. This is what I wanted, to go up against some of the best teams in the country. And hopefully, like you said, that'll prepare us to be ready to make a run when January comes on.
Is there anything else that's going on campus, contributing toward men's basketball for this upcoming season? How the guys are adjusting to now not being so much listening, now having to take a leadership role and ownership of the team with new staff.
For sure.
And saying, let's move forward.
You know what? The biggest thing is, and I don't know if this is exactly what you're asking, but with the return of football and the momentum right now at UAB athletics, there's no better time to be a UAB athlete. The facilities we're building, the fan support that's increasing because of what has happened over the last year and a half is an amazing time. And we're not playing football this year, and I think because of that excitement though about what's happening, we're having a lot. Basketball season tickets is on pace to set a record. So there's going to be a lot of attention on us, which is good, and hopefully we'll create one of the best environments in the conference that will carry over to us, having a great Bartow Arena game day environment. And I think, again, our guys have been here, like Nick Norton and William Lee. People think they should be graduated now, but but it's just because they've played so much as freshmen, so you don't realize they're still only juniors. So juniors and seniors, it's going to be an exciting group to coach.
Coach, could you tell us a little bit about Kermit said when Memphis left, that really left the conference trying to build itself back up to find its place in the national scene. Do you feel it's back with your run, with Middle's run, with teams like UTEP?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's almost back to national relevance, or still getting?
I feel like this is the best chance we've had. But outside of the March success in the NCAA tournament, I feel like it's going to take it could be anyone in our conference, to make some noise early in non-conference, which is the one thing I don't think we've really had. It's going to take some marquee wins against some higher, perceived teams, I think, to help build that. And La Tech beat Ohio State last year, and Old Dominion the previous year. They were 13-1 going into conference. They got a top 25. I thought that really helped the conference as well. We need a team, in my opinion, to have that kind of success early to get the momentum going about our conference.
Good.
I think that's it, Coach.
Awesome.
Coach Ehsan, I want to thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach, thanks so much.
Yeah.